Tonight, classes canceled in Wisconsin. The state's governor makes that announcement today as he works to curb the spread of coronavirus.
And he's not the only one making a major announcement as the president addresses the nation yet again, making a declaration to improve the amount of resources available.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
To unleash the full power of the federal government in this effort today, I am officially declaring a national emergency.
That's the president's address outside the White House today as he continues taking action to curb the spread of coronavirus. Good evening. I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. It was another day of cancellations today as more and more states closed schools, and what seems to be the last few sporting events were postponed or canceled.
Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan all saw an increase in the number of coronavirus cases today, with the Badger State making preparations to close all schools starting next week. In Wisconsin, there are now 19 total cases. Most are in the eastern portion of the state. There's now 16 cases in Michigan, with none of those being in the UP. Minnesota saw a jump today as well, reaching 14, including one U of M Twin Cities student. Worldwide, the total has reached 145,000 cases, with 5,400 deaths and more than 70,000 recoveries. Wisconsin's Governor Tony Evers is mandating the statewide closure of all K-12 schools, public and private, as part of the state's efforts to respond to and contain the spread of COVID-19. The mandated closure will begin on Wednesday, March 18th, in order to give school districts ample time to make plans for kids, families, educators, and staff. The anticipated reopening date is April 6th, but that is subject to change. Evers said it was a decision he did not take lightly, but the safety of students and their families is the highest priority. As the number of positive coronavirus cases in Minnesota climbed into the double digits, Governor Tim Walz declared a peacetime emergency. As we mentioned, there are now 14 people in the state who have tested positive. Most of the cases are clustered around the Twin Cities metro area and further south. Per guidance from health officials, Walz is advising individuals and organizations in Minnesota to postpone or cancel events where there are more than 250 people.
Over the past several weeks, we have forecasted exactly this scenario. The systems, and I stress the systems that are in place to deal with this in the Minnesota Department of Health and in our private sector healthcare is prepared to deal with this.
Most people infected with COVID-19 show mild symptoms such as sore throat and a cough. If sick, people are advised to stay home to avoid the chance of spreading the disease. The vast majority of people infected are expected to recover. While there are not any confirmed cases in Duluth, the mayor is calling on the governor to make some changes as the state deals with more cases. Mayor Emily Larson says she hopes the state will extend its cold weather rule, which allows residents to continue to heat their homes during the winter, even if they're behind on their bills. Larson is also asking for a mental health crisis line.
Dozens of people have come to me this week and let me know that they are feeling anxious and worried. They're concerned about how this may impact their business. They're concerned about the health and welfare of their parents or their children, their work schedule, their paychecks. Locally, Larson says Duluth will follow any state-issued guidance. She says Duluth is prepared to offer all emergency response and utilities in any situation. Again, Duluth has no confirmed cases, according to officials. However, the city's fire chief says there have been some high-risk patients. Chief Sean Creuset says his department is ready to respond to a potential spread. He says they have plenty of protective equipment on hand for first responders, including safety glasses, gowns, and gloves. Creuset said fire, police, and other first responders have changed some of their protocols for using that equipment to help limit the spread. That includes changes to better understand what kind of calls they're responding to.
We've worked with St. Louis County 911 dispatch on the questions that they ask patients. So hopefully our first responders have a better idea of what they're possibly walking into when they do.
Creuset says the questions could help with anything from responding to COVID-19 to the flu. The Duluth branch of the Coast Guard plans to monitor any ships leaving or arriving in the Twin Ports when the shipping season begins. Commander Francis Smith says they'll communicate any concerns about sick passengers with the CDC and work with local hospitals. If necessary, Commander Smith says they are able to restrict ship movement. As the coronavirus continues to spread across the world, we're taking a look at how well prepared St. Luke's and Essentia are. CBS 3's Ryan Campos shares what local leaders and agencies had to say.
Anthony and Kristen, Essentia and St. Luke's officials released some very important information this morning regarding the COVID-19 and how they are prepping you to remain safe during this pandemic. St. Luke's and Essentia Health in Duluth say they are doing coronavirus testing, but they said they are following a very strict screening process since the number of tests are limited. This morning, they talked about their plans to slow the spread. St. Luke's will be offering 2 free e-care visits through their online site, and they're also launching an informational hotline on Monday. Most importantly, though, St. Luke's has issued a travel ban to their employees, and they say everyone in the Northland should follow that advice.
I would urge you to consider travel plans, because every time you fly to another part of the country, we do have areas where there is community spread. You have the potential to bring it back.
As for Essentia Health in Duluth, they have streamlined their decision-making process at the hospital. They are planning weekly media conferences for community members, and they're developing contingency plans for supplies if the virus should spread to the Northland.
I communicate that what's most important is that anyone who feels sick, that they stay at home so that they can recover, and if they've got symptoms consistent with COVID-19, which is shortness of breath, fever, or cough, that they go and get tested.
Both hospitals say they're looking at what others around the country are doing to help prevent the spread of the disease.
But we think as long as we are working together with partners, planning ahead, we can have an experience more akin to some of the geographic locations that have done a good job at controlling the virus.
Both Essentia and St. Luke's are planning to start drive-through testing when cases of the coronavirus start showing up in the Northland and as more tests become available. Now, both hospitals are monitoring the virus as it continues to spread, but they are saying that they are ready once it hits the Northland. Guys, back to you.
All right, Dave joins us now for a look at the weather. I was up in the Virginia area for a shoot this morning for a story, and it was cold.
Yeah, it started off a little bit nippy, but as that higher pressure filtered in, the sky became quite beautiful, and it's still quite lovely, even over down 169 towards your neck of the woods. Here's a live local look at Mitchell Bridge near Hibbing, and looks like pretty smooth sailing there. Blue sky above, dry streets below, and that's probably a 50-50 trend for the weekend. We'll keep the streets dry, but the clouds will try to infiltrate at least a little bit, but not enough to bring us precip, at least for Saturday, Sunday. Low pressure from yesterday that brought rain is departing. Higher pressure building in is trying to bring in sunshine, but it may have a tougher time with a thin deck of clouds up above, so it's not overly strong high pressure. Looking at our weekend forecast then, I think tonight we're getting a mostly cloudy sky with a low of 10 above. Saturday should be partly sunny, high 29 degrees, but into Sunday, mostly cloudy, high temp 32. Sunday's mostly cloudy sky could usher in our next snow chance, which will be on Monday, and I'll talk about how much could come our way when we get to then.
All right, thanks, Dave. A suburban Minneapolis school district became the first in Minnesota to cancel classes over concerns about the coronavirus.
The Robbinsdale Area School District said it made the move out of an abundance of caution.
Well, that's not the recommendation from state leaders just yet. CBS3's Emma Quinn heard from Duluth public school officials about how they're preparing for that possibility. Emma.
Yes, Kristen, Tony. So Duluth's Assistant Superintendent Jeff Horton acknowledged that COVID-19 has created anxiety among parents, faculty, and students. Horton says the school is following guidelines from the Minnesota Department of Health and Education, and officials say that students and staff safety is the main priority for the schools. And at this time, Horton says all decisions and prevention mentions is in line with the DPE and the DPA guidelines, and they are working with other districts across the state to make sure that everyone is on the same page.
The Minnesota Department of Health and MDE now are telling us that closing schools is not the decision to be made right now, that schools will remain open. Will that change in the future? It might. Are we developing contingency plans if that were to happen? Absolutely.
Now, Horton says if schools were to close, there are plans being made to help families and students who rely on free and reduced lunch services. And school and health officials at the press conference earlier today shared several tips on how you can keep children safe from the coronavirus from spreading. And coming up tonight at 10, I'll have much more information on that.
All right, thanks, Emma. Well, for the first time since UMD has gone to online classes for the foreseeable future, we are hearing from university officials on what their plans are to make this as stress-free as possible. The University of Minnesota system announced Wednesday UMD's spring break will last until Wednesday, March 18th, and coursework at all 5 University of Minnesota campuses, including UMD, will be delivered online starting that same day through at least April 1st of 2020. UMD officials say they are being very flexible with the new curriculum to give students and teachers adequate resources to adjust.
Not everyone has laptops necessarily. Not everyone has access to the internet in the same way, and so we're working hard to find ways to remedy that and to provide our students with opportunities that hopefully as many students as possible will be able to access the course material.
That's Chancellor Lenley Black. He says the university is hopeful they'll be able to hold commencement ceremonies for those graduating this spring. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, more cases of chronic wasting disease pop up in the region. We'll tell you what's being done to limit the spread.
Well, let's take a look at the almanac here for today. Top temp 29 degrees, cooler than normal by 4. Similar temperatures should be with us tomorrow and Sunday. Will we warm up by Monday when we get our next snow chance? We'll take a look at that 7-day forecast together coming up after our break.
Flooring adds fashion to any room. Update your home with superfast vinyl plank flooring. Delaney is waterproof, easy to install, and has an attached pad in 2 colors. $179 a square foot. Right now, all Serta Perfect Sleeper mattresses are on sale. This Dortmund mattress has individually wrapped coils for a comfortable night's sleep and is available in a medium feel for only $567. Now, during Menards, think spring sale.
Save big money at Menards. No matter how much you clean, does your house still smell stuffy? That's because your home is filled with soft surfaces that trap odors and release them back into the room. So try Febreze Fabric Refresher. Febreze finds odors trapped in fabrics and cleans them away as it dries. Use Febreze every time you tidy up to keep your whole house smelling fresh air clean. Fabric Refresher even works for clothes you want to wear another day. Make Febreze part of your clean routine. For whole home freshness.
You're in luck! Barker's Waterfront Grill and Lounge is celebrating St. Patrick's Day with homemade Reubens or corned beef and cabbage, coupled with great drink specials. The End of the Rainbows at Barker's Waterfront Grill, March 14th through the 17th.
Bob's Factory Outlet in Park Falls and Ashland is having a tax time bundle sale. The $999 7-piece tax time bundle includes a sofa, love seat, or chaise, or recliner, plus a cocktail table and 2 end tables. Complete the tax time bundle with a set of 2 lamps. Sleep well after saving on Beauty Rest Plus Euro Top Queen mattress set, $749 after check. Use your $100 check towards a purchase of $499 or more. Bob's Factory Outlet tax time bundle sale ends April 4th.
Spring is right around the corner, which means special spring bonus savings are back. For a limited time, you can get an extra $1,000 in spring bonus cash on a new Ford SUV. The all-new Escape has tech to give you peace of mind behind the wheel, while the redesigned Explorer will adjust to every road and any conditions. See for yourself why Ford is America's best-selling brand. Now with an extra $1,000 in spring bonus cash, get $6,250 in total cash on a 2020 Explorer. Hurry in to your local Northland Ford dealer today.
At Cracker Barrel, you'll always feel right at home. With favorites like our golden country fried steak, our scratch-made buttermilk pancakes, and our signature chicken and dumplings. So come on home to what you love. Come on home to Cracker Barrel.
In every case, there's someone who stands accused, someone who stands to win or lose. But I stand for the truth. On that, I give you my word.
We speak for those who don't have a voice.
I'm innocent.
I know.
We're the best at putting away the worst.
This is proof the justice system works.
It's proof that it doesn't always fail.
In my courtroom, we always get justice.
A new All Rise, Monday at 9/8 Central on CBS.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, Kristen was just saying she had to do her outside shoot in Virginia this morning, and the winds were really gusting, and they were blowing her around pretty good because she's kind of tall and kind of thin, not short and stout like some of us other folks here. Well, you need to be shorter and stouter because of the winds today, and they're continuing tonight. Still looking at a gale warning for all of Lake Superior now, not just the western side here. So over the lake, winds westerly, northwesterly could go up towards 30 miles per hour, and even inland 10 to 20, not out of the question. So again, hold on to your hats tonight. Hopefully things will ease up come tomorrow. I do think it's going to be a fairly calm, if not overly mild weekend. Temperatures may be a little bit on the cool side, but the winds will slack off, and the sky will try to punch a couple of holes in the clouds. Clouds will be thickening tonight, so this beautiful scene you see in downtown Duluth right now, it won't last forever. Neither will the current conditions, which at this snapshot of our life say it's 25 degrees at the airport, 53% for the relative humidity. Westerly northwesterly wind is going 17 miles per hour, and our air pressure is up there now today, 1,027 millibars, and that helps squash the clouds pretty well. Tomorrow they'll try to weasel back in, and then once we get into Sunday, they'll start to get thick again in advance of our next chance of precip. Right now, though, earlier in the day, we did have a few scattered snow showers popping up here and there, and a fair amount of ground clutter, too, popping up on the Duluth Doppler Center here as well. A little bit of lighter snows did try to linger towards Grand Forks, but a lot of this didn't even touch the ground. Tonight, clouds on the increase very slowly indeed, as higher pressure tries to take over the region, but it's not going to be a really firm high-pressure system. So our forecast on Saturday says partly sunny sky, but it should be dry, as the oomph the high does have keeps this bigger low-pressure system at bay. And this is the one we talked about yesterday. That's bringing plenty of snow to the mountains in Montana and even Wyoming and Idaho. By the time it gets here after Sunday, it'll increase our clouds, but it won't be bringing any snow here till maybe after sunset. Monday is the day when this low might bring us a chance for some snow, but it should be pretty exhausted by the time it gets here. It'll leave most of the snow in the mountains, and just lighter stuff will come our way. So Sunday night into Monday, maybe into Tuesday morning, snow totals around here could look like this. We might run the 1 to 3 inch range here once we get into Tuesday, but compared to the 8 to 14 they could be getting in the mountains, I guess we're getting off pretty well. Tonight, here's what we get for the temperatures. Cool inland northern Minnesota. Kristen, bundle up tonight. Get Louie the dog in his little fur jammies too. 4 above towards border country, 7 in your neck of the woods, Kristen, the Hibbing-Chisholm area. Then for the rest of us, running about 8 to 15 into Minnesota, out of Minnesota into Wisconsin, warmer there. 12 in Superior to as warm as 18 towards Wakefield. Mostly cloudy sky is what we get above for every town. And then for tomorrow, partial sunshine. Wisconsin, Michigan, high temps 28 to 32. That's a little bit cooler than normal. Minnesota high temps might run from 27 near International Falls to 31 by Moose Lake. That's a hair cooler than normal with a partly sunny sky. And now with the extended forecast, that's a live look of the Brainerd area there. And off to the west, it's fair weather there as well, which is a sign it'll stick around here too, at least through Sunday. Monday, we get a 60% chance for that 1 to 3 inches of snow, and then it settles down on Tuesday. A couple of flurries might tease us on Wednesday. Another sunnier period comes in on Thursday, followed by a 40% chance for more snow by next Friday. So bottom line is for the week ahead, Anthony and Kristen and Kelly in the wings. Not overly warm, not overly snowy either, but on a couple of days we may have to drive just a little cautiously.
Seems par for the course this time of year.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
Well, St. Louis County authorities are asking for the public's help finding a missing Side Lake man. Patrick Robert Labina was last seen at his home on Tuesday morning. The 48-year-old is described as 6 foot 4 inches tall, 190 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information is asked to call the St. Louis County Sheriff's Office.
4 more deer have tested positive for a deadly disease on a farm in Pine County. This comes after the first deer there tested positive for chronic wasting disease back in January. That particular deer herd and had provided animals to a deer farm in Douglas County in the past. This includes a CWD positive doe back in December. The Pine County and Douglas County sites are not allowed to have any deer or elk for 5 years. An investigation is still ongoing into how many more animals have been infected.
The St. Paul Teachers Union and Minnesota's second largest school district have reached a tentative contract agreement ending a strike that began Tuesday and canceled classes for some 36,000 students. The agreement was reached about 3:30 a.m. This morning after more than 19 hours of mediation that began early yesterday. The union represents about 3,600 teachers and support staff. It said it was in the best interest of all involved to settle the contract, given the uncertainty of possible school closures due to coronavirus. A vote by union members on the tentative agreement has not been scheduled. Students will return to class on Monday.
All right, Kelly's here to talk a little bit about sports. Is there even any sports happening anymore?
Well, unfortunately, the cancellations continue.
Yeah.
And a big bummer is that it's directly impacting the Northland. How the Duluth Marshall girls basketball was welcomed home today after their state tournament run was cut short. That's next.
America's Most Watched Network. Tonight, starting at 7, only on CBS3 Duluth. Then, stay tuned for CBS3 News at 10. CBS3 Live Cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Look at what just $10 a month will get you when you spend $5.99. A classy bedroom set, all 4 pieces, only $10 a month. 5-year financing on purchases of just $5.99 or more. And get free shipping with no minimum, only at Slumberland Furniture.
Live in concert in the Otter Creek Event Center, Black Bear Casino Resort lights up the stage with Clay Walker, Friday, May 15th.
Then what you gonna do when the new wears off and they
With hit after hit for the last 3 decades, his smooth voice and energetic stage presence have made him one of the busiest artists on the road.
I can make a living out of loving you.
Tickets available at the Players Club or online at blackbearcasinoresort.com. Make the Bear your place.
Continental Ski is having a store-wide winter flash sale March 14th and 15th. Check out our wide selection of winter gear and save 40% off all winter apparel, skis, and accessories. The winter flash sale only at Continental Ski and Bike in Duluth, Minnesota.
Empire Roofing, it's about trust. Spring is here. It's time for a free roof inspection from the team at Empire Roofing. Empire's a local family business with outstanding customer reviews. Empire's also a GAF Master Elite roofing contractor. And GAF has released its revolutionary new HDZ shingles. They're so much better than old school shingles. They have an outstanding wind speed warranty. So important in this part of the country. Have your roof inspected now. Contact Empire Roofing at empireroofingmn.com or call 218-724-5584.
The best things happen outdoors. And spring is just around the corner. That means making room for brand new RVs on our lots. This month, get a Forest River travel trailer for only $168 a month. Take 25% off fishing gear like the Abu Garcia spinning reels and save over 35% on select ProCare services. So you can make sure you're ready for your next outdoor adventure. Visit your Gander RV and Outdoors in Hermantown today.
Northland, when you want the most new country, make the switch to Cat Country 98.9 KTZO.
Never met a girl like you. What makes you country?
#1 for the most new country.
Come Monday night, I'll be saying the weekend was way, way too short. And the work week is going to be a long one.
I'm so tired, I'm going to cry.
You cry like a girl. What I need is an hour of laughs.
He's my friend. Best friend. Slow down a little bit, Dave.
It's a full hour of funny. A new neighborhood, followed by a new Bob Arts Abishola. Monday, starting at 8/7 Central on CBS.
Backed by popular demand at Slumberland. Look at what $10 per month will get you. A Sealy luxury firm queen mattress with this modern upholstery base, $10 a month. Pay no interest for 5 years when you spend $5.99 or more. Look at what $10 will get you at Slumberland.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
In what was supposed to be a day of competition ended up being a day of heartbreak as the Duluth Marshall girls basketball team learned their Class A semifinal game and the rest of the state tournament was canceled. The team arrived home this afternoon, greeted by family members and fans to celebrate the season they had accomplished. The Hilltoppers were making their first state tournament appearance in 20 years. Head coach CJ Osuchukwu said the news is obviously disappointing, but there was plenty of positives to take away from this season.
I think we had a really good shot at actually winning it. And I think today would have been a fun game to have two, unranked teams. to people that, you know, weren't predicted to get that far, to have a chance to compete at a state title. So, you know, we're just really sad right now, but enjoying the moment that, you know, we had a fantastic season. Most wins in school history, first time ever winning a state game in school history, and the first time going to state in 20 years. So we have to look at the good things.
And it's been 24 hours as the news keeps on happening that the cancellations of pretty much every major sporting event from professional athletics to college athletics, which abruptly put an end to the UMD men's hockey postseason run before it even started. The conference first canceled the tournament games this weekend in the NCHC quarterfinals, which were supposed to happen tonight at Amsoil Arena. It has certainly been a tough 24 hours for these athletes, specifically the ones that have already played their final collegiate games. The team is still processing, that's for sure. Here's what UMD goaltender Hunter Shepard had to say.
Whether you win or lose, I mean, the reason we came back was for the playoffs and have a chance to win 3 in a row. And whether you win or lose, I think not being able to be out there on the ice to end your college career with your teammates the way you came in is tough. I mean, you're going to be a little more emotional whether you win at the end of the year or lose, being out there with them. And honestly, I think emotionally we're kind of getting off the hook a little bit with that, and it doesn't feel right.
We're going to have more from Hunter Shepard tonight in the CBS3 News at 10. Some Vikings free agency news. Defensive tackle and cornerback Xavier Rhodes and Linval Joseph have been released by the team. The announcement to terminate both players' contracts occurred a few days before the new league year set to open at 3 p.m. on March 18th and ahead of the legal tampering period that starts on Monday. Rhodes was a 2013 first-round draft pick and has recorded 10 career interceptions in his 91 games started. Joseph has been a key addition since his 2014 free agency acquisition, starting in all 88 games, his first season being the first with head coach Mike Zimmer at the helm. Joseph recorded 303 tackles from 2015 to 2019, the second most in the NFL among defensive tackles during that span. I do want to make a note. The NCAA announced today that they are going to be granting another year of eligibility for spring sports athletes. And currently it's in the works how they're going to do that for winter sports athletes who had their postseason runs cut short, but not necessarily their regular season cut short. So we're going to have that developing, and there's going to be a lot of news in the next a few weeks, not necessarily sports happening, but news of how athletes are dealing with this, what their options are. So it's going to be an interesting time in the sports world.
You'll still have plenty of work to do.
Plenty of work and plenty of stuff to cover.
Yeah.
Thanks, don't switch me over to news yet, guys.
No, you're sports. You're sports, Kelly.
We're sports.
Don't worry about that. All right. Thanks, Kelly. Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, President Trump declared the coronavirus outbreak in the U.S. a national emergency. He says this will open up access to up to $50 billion to be used to help stop the spread of the disease. The president also urged all 50 U.S. states to set up emergency operations centers and asked all U.S. hospitals to activate their emergency preparedness plans. We'll have much more on this story tonight on the CBS3 News at 10.
All right, that's the news for now. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock.